Hello, and today on the Monster Painter, I'm going to introduce you to Bat Hat and Goblin, and you're going to get to know my current Frostgrave Warband a little bit better. The Warband is led by the enigmatic witch known as Bat Hat and his trusty apprentice, Goblin. Bat Hat is from the 1995 expansion to Warhammer Quest, Lair of the Orc Lord. In that role, he was called Scabnose, which is totally disgusting. Bat Hat fled to the Frozen City after having participated in a disastrous wog led by Grok the Rash, and he did not feel comfortable returning home, the sole survivor of a disastrous war. Goblin was the first person Bat Hat met on his way to Old Felstad. Goblin is a early 21st century Warhammer Fantasy Battles miniature, coming in, I think, at the end of that franchise before they dropped it in favor of Age of Sigmar, so he's the last of his kind. And he's got a long backstory. It's kind of boring, so don't ask him about it. But a warband is gonna need some firepower, and thus Bat Hat recruited Walink here, who is a 3rd edition Warhammer, so mid-90s, Warhammer Fantasy Battles, mid-90s, hobgoblin for the Chaos Dwarf faction. Walink is on the run from the authorities of Tsar after his successful small enterprise came to the attention of his Chaos Dwarf overlords. For a little more firepower, we have a fellow named Orcthario, who is a Leviathan Goblin archer produced by Heartbreaker back in the mid-90s. Orcthario is in possession of a very minor magic item known as a Ring of Warmth, which unfortunately allows him to let it all hang out despite the freezing cold weather of Old Felstad. A decent warband is going to need a heavy hitter, and for this job we have the dreaded One Fist, who has had a number of adventures, including helping to defeat the dreaded Baron Zachariath after a long quest. Yeah. And One Fist is straight up out of Descent 2, an expansion called Shards of Everdark. And he happens to be one of my favorite models. He gets lots of play. And in this Frostgrave Warband, he's doing what he does best. He's the big tough Templar. Formerly known as Thug Number 1, Gruumshi is from the original D&D Minis basic set, pre-painted. He's all touched up. And he got his name Gruumshi after he defeated a foul horn in single combat. And in gratitude, Bat Hat paid the 125 gold crowns to make him into a barbarian, and he earned that name. Thug Number 2, however, hails from the 2007 kids' toy/game Crossbows and Catapults, and he also acts as the camp cook, and he likes bad puns. The man-at-arms of the band is Ashy. He is a Rackham model for their game Confrontation, produced at the beginning of the 21st century. And Ashy thinks he's a samurai warrior and was kicked out of his tribe for being a quirky little twerp. No Orc Warband would be complete without a little bit of HeroQuest flavor, and that's delivered by our thief, because nothing makes a better thief than a HeroQuest goblin, and Mr. Snotty McStickyfingers sure can attest to that. Obviously, orcs do not use dogs as warhounds. They use squigs, and for the job of squig warhound, a nice mid-90s Warhammer Fantasy squig. He goes by the name of Bitykins, and he keeps the derelict brewery where the Warband is held up in free of rats. Now, while not a member of the Warband, Bat had acquired the spell Illusionary Soldier early on in his career. And he likes to cast it, and this is the model he likes to send out. A nice Reaper Bones Death Knight. Says it scares the pants off of those stupid humies. And there you have it. The Bat Hat and Goblin team fighting for treasure in the Frozen City. Next week on the Monster Painter, Miniature Rehab. Like, comment, subscribe!